Here we are. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines and news from our city, from our state, from our country. It is always a pleasure to meet with you and to welcome you here to this space, this virtual space that we share as a community of English-speaking locals living here in Puerto Vallarta. Today is Thursday, August 18, and as usual, we've gathered a bunch of interesting news. So we are going to get started with that. But first, as always, if you're watching us live for the first time, feel free to let us know. And you can do that by writing the word new, and we'll just give you a nice, happy welcome. And if you have something truly important that you wish to oh dear, I am flying. If there's something truly important that you wish to bring up during the broadcast, you can always make sure that you add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment to make sure that we don't miss it during the commentary section later on. Today, we have good news for Puerto Vallarta, interesting news, and a little bit of commentary on nonprofits and how they go about asking for help. What else do we have? Oh, and we have, somebody wrote me privately asking about the fact that they don't seem to get Facebook reminders. And how do you get Facebook reminders when we go online? So I'll demonstrate that today, hopefully to clear the air for those of you that seem to be a little confused on that. And of course, I spent a lot of time yesterday getting ready for this afternoon's broadcast for members only. I think I whipped out about 85 different photographs that I'm going to share, spanning from the beginning of time all the way to 2016, that show how Puerto Vallarta has changed through time. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to do that this afternoon. And of course, I see Gina, and I am reminded that Gina has finally opened a Facebook page for her new eatery. And we are going to share that Facebook page today. And we're wondering when you're going to open. When are you going to open, Gina? If you have an opening date, let us know. If not, we will be sharing the new Facebook page with the cluster so that we can keep an eye on your projects, as always, with lots of love and gratitude for all the kindness that you've shared and that you've showed to Coffee and Headlines. So here we go. Let's push the button. Okay, so for starters, great news for Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta recovered 4 certifications in local beaches: Playa de Oro, Playa Camarones, Playa Sheraton, and Playa Palmares. The flags, the blue flags. The certifications came from Blue Flag, and the flags are now waving in those beaches. And if you're wondering what is Blue Flag, Blue Flag is a certification by the Foundation for Environmental Education that a beach, a marina, or a sustainable boating tourism operator meets its standards. Translated to regular English, that means that the beaches are environmentally safe and clearly safe for us to enjoy. The organization has certified 5,042 beaches, marinas, and tourism boats in over 48 countries in the world. And the iconic Blue Flag is one of the world's most recognized voluntary awards for beaches, marinas, and sustainable boats. In order to qualify, a series of stringent environmental, educational, safety, and accessibility criteria must be met and maintained. So Blue Flag has a website, and in part of the website, they also have this map, this interactive map that is maintained on a regular basis so that you can find out what are the cleanest beaches in the country by their standards. In the rest of the world, of course. I will be sharing this information in the comments this morning so you can have it. You say that connection is spotty this morning. I don't think I left anything strange running, so I am sorry to hear that you are having a connection that is spotty. Let me very quickly check on the old computer to see if I left anything running that would interfere. Sometimes things are getting updated in the background and I don't notice, and that may be the cause. I hope it goes away. Of course, Blue Flag does not certify for the absence or presence of crocodiles, and one was just spotted and captured in the ocean right at the Sheridan Beach, one of the certified beaches, 20 meters away from the beach, they say. So Blue Flag says, yes, crocs say, this is my territory. You say, do I swim in the beach or not? That's entirely up to you. I'm sticking to my day passes whenever I get a chance in a nice chlorinated pool. Cepal is going at it again, this time having reported a broken pipe in Colonia Lázaro Cárdenas yesterday afternoon. So if you live in that colonia and are experiencing water shortages or low water pressure, it is supposed to be rectified during the day today. And before we move on to the next two items, I have a quick commentary on giving as it relates to nonprofits here in town. As you probably know, because we've mentioned it in the past, I don't associate specifically or support any nonprofits specifically here in Puerto Vallarta for personal reasons. But whenever I see a nonprofit making very specific requests for something that will lead to a very specific outcome, it's very easy to get on board and broadcast their requests. There's a very big difference in my personal book between we need, so give, and saying we need for this particular mission, and this is what we need, and this is when we need it by, and this is the positive outcome that will come out of succeeding in accomplishing or fulfilling that need. So I saw these two things online today, and I am so very happy to get behind them. The first one has to do with, hold on just a second. There it is. The Campamento Tortuguero Boca de Tomates published that they need help shoveling this morning. Vallarta, they say, and I'm gonna read it. Vallarta, tomorrow morning we could sure use your help. We will be doing nursery prep, and it's hard work. We have shovels ready for our mission of helping the volunteers at the turtle camp, Campamento Tortuguero Boca de Tomates, saving sea turtles in Puerto Vallarta on Thursday morning. Of course, it's too late to go because we're watching Coffee and Headlines. But how nice to see that they're being very clear in what they need and when they need it. And then they go on to say, thank you, Nan Lippert, for the opportunity to help the turtles. I don't have the pleasure of knowing Nan Lippert, and not knowing the involvement. But then they say special shout out to the PV Sailing and Marina Riviera Nayarit at La Cruz for loaning us the tools needed. I mean, how nice is that? I mean, how easy it is to get behind a very specific request like that, isn't it? And then the second one came from Rise, the children's orphanage. Rise says they need a monster fan. Well, they didn't call it a monster fan, but the text said it's hot and our kids are having difficulty sleeping. We have repeatedly purchased the inexpensive floor fans which inevitably break and wear out. If you or a group of friends can help us buy a couple of these industrial fans on Mercado Libre or elsewhere, it will make a difference in our kids' lives. Do it for the kids. And they post a very specific photograph of what they're looking for and how much it costs. I mean, how easy it is to get behind these particular requests. Although I might say, if there's anybody watching from Rise, do be mindful that although these industrial fans do blow a lot of air, they can also be very noisy and can also prevent your kids from sleeping well at night due to the noise. I have a fan that is not quite as industrial, but I remember buying it thinking to myself, this is a monster fan. It will protect me from the heat. And I bought it and didn't realize until I plugged it in my bedroom that it was too loud and I couldn't sleep because of all the noise. But the bottom line is, and this is a personal wish, I just hope that moving forward, nonprofits become more specific in their requests to help us connect with very specific needs. And if somebody out there says, well, we always need something or we need all the help we can get, well, that's okay too. But, it's like you cannot eat a whole pie by taking one scoop. You have to break it down into little scoops, but that's just the way I feel. How do you feel about that? What is your opinion on the way local nonprofits go about asking for support? Feel free to share your comments because I know that this is an important topic. We are a community that likes to give, but there are many different ways of asking. Your thoughts, I would love to read. And now let us move on to the weather and take it from there. I hope you cut back on the carbs, meat bag, because it's swimsuit season. Well, I don't know about that. Between COVID and Butterfingers and age and this, that, and the other, it's abundance season as far as I'm concerned. But that's just me. It is now 27 degrees Celsius. Humidity is higher than yesterday, 98%. 94% actually, and we are enjoying 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Our weather forecast for today says rain in the morning and afternoon with a high of 31 and a low of 25. Friday, possible light rain in the evening and overnight with a high of 32 and a low of 25. And then Saturday, rain until the evening with a high of 30 and a low of 24. Yay. So moving right along, I know that I showed you this photograph yesterday. Where is it? Here it is. Ta-da! This was the lighthouse on the Malecon. This was a photograph from 1935, and the only reason why I'm sharing it again is because I happened to stumble upon another one of the same spot, but a few years later. Check it out. By this time, you can see, well, the photo's in color, obviously, so it's further along. And the actual Malecon, or a semblance of it, has been built, as you can see going around. The lighthouse tower is there, and now there's a building behind it that is higher than the lighthouse. And this seems to be another kind of Independence Day parade because I'm looking at all the soldiers and all the little school children dressed in white behind it. I thought it was a nice photograph to share with you. Let's see, moving right along. The area in the world that drinks most Coca-Cola in the world is within Mexico, and more specifically in the state of Chiapas, where Coca-Cola is, Coca-Cola in general in Mexico is the favorite soft drink, consumed 70% more than any other carbonated sugar drink bottled in the country. But in the aforementioned state, in the state of Chiapas, consumption is five times higher than the rest of Mexico, and 32 times higher than the world average. Can you bet that there are a lot of tubby kids in the state of Chiapas? You can certainly bet on that. By the way, I've cut down on my personal consumption of Coke to only drink it when I am having Cuba Libre, rum and Coke, one of my favorite go-to drinks. Once again, Mexico goes at it with Guinness records. I don't know if it's a Mexican thing or a world thing. I know that it's a thing here in Mexico because this is where I live. This time around, the nice people from the town of Huamantla in the state of Tlaxcala decided to create a sawdust rug that is almost 4 kilometers long. It is actually 3,392 meters long, and it specifically involved 300 artisans putting together different pieces of colored sawdust. How much sawdust? 80 tons of colored sawdust. Clearly, nobody sneezes in this town. Clearly, it doesn't rain and there is no wind. Because, I mean, what do you do with all that sawdust once it starts raining or once the wind blows? But that's just me. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to stay in place or how they're going to clean after it, but I just thought I would show it to you because it looks rather pretty. Let's see. Mexico City will have 2 Day of the Dead parades this year, and you can blame James Bond for that. It was a few years ago that a James Bond film was produced in Mexico City, and one of the scenes in the film involves an action scene during a very big, very highly produced Day of the Dead parade with huge botargas and giant Catrinas and so forth and so on. And Mexico City put A and B together and realized, well, maybe if we produce a Day of the Dead parade like this one, more people will be interested. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, not that the previous Mexico City Day of the Dead parades were wimpy or anything, but Mexico City did notch up their Day of the Dead parade ever since that film was produced in Mexico City. So this time around, one of the parades will include participation of all the states in the country. So even though Mexico City is not the most traditional place to celebrate Day of the Dead, I am sure that this year the parade is going to be out of this world beautiful. What else do we have? The cat is out of the bag. Yes, I wanted to share this with you because Gina has finally opened a Facebook page for her Hot Fish and Chicks Puerto Vallarta eatery. It's a small eatery that's just going to be down the street from Whiskey Kitchen here in Versalles. Small but air conditioned, and it'll have very affordable fish and tacos and other kinds of fun edibles. She posted, I think I read one of the comments, that she's opening in some 10 days or so. And I'm going to leave you with the Facebook page so that we can follow Gina in this new venture. And of course, Gina, we wish you the best of luck. Last but not least, before we dive into the comments, somebody wrote to me yesterday, because I sent the reminder for the members only, and you got that on your email. If you didn't get it on your email, or you're a member but don't know where to go, make sure to send me a note before our broadcast today, because it's going to be at 5:00 and it's going to be a lot of fun. But anyhow, the question was, how do I get reminders that you're broadcasting in the morning? And rather than answering this gentleman directly, I am going to answer here, because this is a question that comes up every now and then, and a question that is difficult for me to appreciate, I must say. I'm going to be perfectly honest, because we're always on Monday through Saturday between at 10:30 in the morning. So from the same Facebook page. So how difficult could it be to find? I'm not sure. But what I want to show you is, let me switch over to, yes, that worked. Okay, so here is Paco Ojeda Coffee and Headlines Facebook page, and you know the URL. And in case you don't know the URL, in case you don't know the URL, we're going to share it again. We always share it. at the beginning of your comments. You can always find it there. But I'm going to scroll down and you will see that our broadcast, our live broadcast, is the first thing that shows up here. So if you go into the Facebook page, you will know that we're broadcasting. Number one. Number two, let me get into the page and view it as somebody, obviously I'm signed on to my own account. So now I'm viewing the page as you would if you're not associated with it. So there are three buttons here. Sign up, which means that you sign up to the page and you get all the notifications. Follow, which means that you follow all the notifications. And message, the very important message here. This is a perfect place whenever you want to reach me and you have any questions or comments. So the short answer to how do you get notifications that we're going live has to do with this button, sign up, or this button, follow. Now, that said, Facebook decides what to send, when to send it, and sometimes they send, sometimes they don't send. Facebook is one of those dark mysteries that we cannot have a lot of control on. But this is the one way that you find out how to be reminded that we are going live. But again, we're live Monday through Saturday at 10:30 in the morning. We can't be that difficult to find. And now, let's take a look at your good mornings and the rest of your comments. It is great to read you all. Sherry's painting today. And of course, at 5 p.m., Paco broadcast. Yippee. Thanks, Paco, for all your help. My pleasure. Sherry got a little confused yesterday with her membership, and we were so very happy to straighten that out. Ramona is looking forward to this evening. That makes two of us. Well, three, because Sherry just said so. Yay. Let's see what else we have. Many good mornings. Amiga Luisa says, craving your yummy cheeseburger from Whiskey Kitchen. And that makes me crave one too. Totally. Let's see. Thank you for the reminders that I'm cutting in and out and that the connection is spotty. Again, I usually review these broadcasts, and when I listen to the audio and video of the broadcast and I see that it does not have any gaps, all I can suggest is that it is happening because the internet is capricious, and unfortunately we don't have that much control over that. Let's see. Sage says, Rise is a very nice organization. We have donated shoes and toys before. Good for you. Has anyone walked the beach to the turtles? Is it doable for someone that has trouble walking? Any rock to hop over? How far is it? I know it's a beach walk. I can answer this question partially because I have not actually walked it, Paula, but I understand that it is a smooth beach, but the beach can change from time to time. I know that it's not a long walk. It may seem like a long walk from Marina Vallarta, but it is a short walk. I understand it takes less than 20 minutes to get there, and it could be even less than that. But may I suggest, Paula, if you don't get a specific answer here from the cluster, that you take advantage of the Facebook page that I'm going to include in the show notes and send them a nice note. They are English fluent, and that is always a great place to get accurate answers from the source. Let's see. Oh, dear. Sayulita Turtle Preservation and Conservation has the same call out to volunteer to keep vehicles and people from molesting the turtle hatching area. That's good to know, Clay. Of course, Sayulita is not a town that I follow on Facebook, so I wouldn't see their notes. We are mostly focused on Puerto Vallarta things, but if I ever come across something like that from Sayulita, it'll be a pleasure to publicize it because Sayulita's close enough. Uh, do, 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 do. Public reach out for legitimate organizations with specific needs is a plus. I totally agree with you, Karen. I totally agree with you. Um, do you like the mini Butterfingers? Have friend coming back in a bit. Can have them bring you some, Paco? Oh no. Well, yeah, I do love them, Patty. But I'm just look at this. I'm becoming so chubby. It's not even funny. And somebody sent me a private message the other day saying that they spotted Butterfinger popcorn at one of the local supermarkets at Chedraui in the hotel zone. And I swore to myself, I'm walking over there and getting myself some, but thank God I haven't had the need. No, in all seriousness, the occasional Butterfinger is divine, but there was a time a few months ago in which my freezer had so many of them. Ay, Dios mío. But thank you for the offer. Thank you very much for the offer. Does anyone know someone who can do a small roof repair at a reasonable cost? Skylight leaking at one corner. I personally don't, Sally, but thank you for relying on our cluster for such a question. I hope you find a positive answer. Ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-da-da-ba-bum. Everybody liked the sawdust carpet. I would not like to have to sweep it away once it starts decaying. Spencer chimes in and agrees. Nonprofits providing specific detailed requests. I have worked and volunteered numerous times through the years. It is a major competitive cutthroat industry. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this kind of ties in to what we were commenting yesterday about that crochet expo. Crochet expo are two very specific words. When I see expo, I'm thinking a big event, but we don't know if it's a big event. So in general, it will continue to be a pet peeve of mine when people don't are not eloquent in conveying their needs. I used to get all grumpy about it, but now I just ignore it and I figured, well, this is not for me. La da 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 da. Bronica, I miss you. Could you imagine if a gust of wind blows or if somebody trips? I mean, how awkward would that moment be? Let's see. Do, 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 do. Isn't cola in Spanish line? Wouldn't that mean that Coca-Cola translates to Coke line? Well, cola means tail, actually, and we use the word cola to refer to when you stand in line. So would that mean that Coca-Cola translates to Coke line? No, because it's the other way around. I don't think so. I've never heard that joke before or that comment before. Let's see what else. Sheila has always wanted to go to a Dia de los Muertos in Mexico City because of the James Bond movie. I don't blame you, Sheila. You see, what happened is many people saw the movie and many people must have thought the same thing that you're thinking. And Mexico City must have thought, holy fuck, what do we do now? If people come to Mexico City Day of the Dead parade expecting the James Bond experience, they're going to be sorely disappointed. So I'm sure that Mexico City notching up their parade a little bit, or maybe more so than that, was part of that reason. Sage and I would like to attend tonight. Can we get the details, please? That's lovely, but I don't know what. Oh, Sage and I would like to attend tonight. Can we get the details, please? If that means attending the members only event, you have to become a member. And to become a member, you have to use this URL, which we show and we mention on every broadcast. And there you will find the choice of becoming a member. We explained it in detail. I believe it was yesterday. So you may want to take a quick look at yesterday's broadcast. Let's see what else. Susie says 5 p.m. today. So that means 3 today in San Diego? Susie, I have no idea because I am in Puerto Vallarta and not in San Diego. But before, more than once, I have gone to Google to ask what time is it in Puerto Vallarta if I'm in San Diego, and Google has provided a very accurate answer. Give it a go. Let's see what else. Do, 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 do. Ojalá te Jose Luis Gonzalez Mejia says, I hope I could meet you in person for some advice on my English and Spanish courses. Feel free to drop me a line, Jose Luis. I'm not an English or Spanish teacher, so I don't know how much advice I can give you, but I just showed you where to find our no, not that one. I'm looking for this one. I just show you where to find our contact information, and that would be this one. So feel free to send me a message here, and this will help me understand what kind of questions or issues you may have. Let us all stop commenting on cutting in and out, as Paco has no control over that, and it just provides angst for Paco and doesn't change anything. Christy, I appreciate that. It does make me a little anxious because there's very little I can do. But I will be the first person to admit that sometimes it is because I push the wrong button, and it's easy for me to push my mute. See, I just pretended I pushed my mute button. So yes, on the one hand, you are correct in saying that there's very little I can do when people don't have a good connection. But I also, at the same time, I do appreciate seeing the comments because it can happen. I can mess up as well. Do 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 do. Quick fix it. Oh, this might be helpful to the person that was looking for help with that roof. Quick fix: if just a corner, get a waterproof caulking or waterproof sealer until you can probably fix the skylight. Thank you very much for that. No worry about that. It was kind of funny to read Coke line, but cola is, again, we don't associate it like that. At least not that I know of. I don't, but maybe somebody from the narco has a joke about that. I'm not sure. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Uh-oh. I must have mentioned the G word because somebody's G device woke up. Well, we can do that from time to time. In fact, Alexa, fart. Oh. And she did. Anyhow, let's see what else. Question: do you know if Facebook has a warning light for when you enter the PAQM? I have no idea what the PAQM is, so I cannot answer that question mark. If you tell me what PAQM means, maybe I can answer the question. Uh-oh. Did yours fart too? I love it. Anyhow, we are at the end of today's broadcast. Oh my God, it's 11:06. Time flies when you are having fun. Oh, another one that went at it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I won't do it frequently, but every now and then, just to amuse myself, I do ask mine to do so because I'm always happy to see if she can compete with me. So there. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you are joining us this afternoon, I look forward to that. Remember, not only will we look at old photographs, but we will also invite you to join me those of you that care to tell us more about your lives, to join me live and we can have a little bit of conversation so that we can learn a little bit more about you. As always, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for your company and your inspiration and your ideas. I hope to see you this afternoon, if not, sometime soon. Ciao.